Before we have a look at the hardware security module integrated into the QuarkLink security system, I first wanted to give a quick overview of what a public key infrastructure is. Basically, a public key infrastructure, this is something that was developed in the 70s, is a set of hardware and software, policies, processes and procedures which are used to create, manage, distribute, store and revoke digital certificates and public keys. The PKI consists of three basic components. So firstly, you have the certificate authority, also known as the certification service provider. These are the guys that actually generate and distribute the certificates. You have the registration authority. These are the guys that look into the user that's requesting the certificates, and they tell the certificate authority to issue the certificates. And then we have this certificate and certificate revocation list. It also includes archiving, management and publication of these lists. So let's have a look at what a certificate authority actually is. So you could compare a certificate authority to a passport issuance authority for citizens. So the CA, what it does is it confirms that the link between a public key, which is owned by that CA, it confirms that that belongs to a group. That group could be company employees, citizens, user groups, or an IoT device. So it's confirming that link. The process to establish this link is called certification. Now, QuarkLink is a CA. It's the central control point to administer the PKI. This is a closed group of personas and devices, or IoT devices in our case, which can be applied across many different use cases. So there is agricultural, medical, IoT devices, all sorts of different application areas can be controlled by this central QuarkLink. This diagram shows the arrangement of the PKI in your QuarkLink instance. So here you can see the top self-signed certificate is the OEM root certificate. It is from this certificate all these other certificates are signed. So then you have the second level, which is issuing certificates. So here you have the TLS, which is part of the TLS handshaking. And then you have these issuing certificates from which your IoT device's device certificates are created. These issuing certificates are based on the security policy that you create for your IoT network. So you'll see there is a video explaining how you generate your policies, and these are directly related to the issuing certificates for your IoT network. So hopefully that gives you a quick overview of how a PKI looks and how it works. Let's now have a look at the HSM and how it's implemented in a QuarkLink instance. So here you can see the main dashboard window of your QuarkLink. You can access the HSM via the main menu here on the left hand side. So we'll click here and immediately it just shows you the PKI that is being controlled by this particular QuarkLink instance. So you can see here the OEM root certificate, which I mentioned in my previous diagram. You can click on this and actually see the PEM file for the certificate straight away. And the reason we show you this is because this certificate is used in your IoT device that's going to try and connect to this QuarkLink. It's used by the IoT device to authenticate this QuarkLink. So here you can see the PEM file. It shows you other information such as the signature algorithm, key size, etc., and the validity dates. So that's just showing you the PKI, as I said. Here are all the issuing certificates that are signed by this root certificate, which again you can view all these certificates and download them if you wish. The important thing to note here is that as a user you do not need to get involved with the managing of the PKI. This is completely handled by the QuarkLink and completely transparent to the user. You can simply view the PKI at any time. So you can have a look at the TLS certificates that I mentioned. So you can see here the root and the issuing certificate. So you can see all these certificates being used. These other options here, like signing keys, this is where you can generate signing keys which you use to sign firmware downloaded to your IoT device. So the important thing is that the HSM is completely handled automatically by the QuarkLink, and all the keys and certificates are actually handled by a cloud-based HSM which communicates with the QuarkLink. So that just covers all the information in regards to HSM and how it's implemented in a QuarkLink. That just leaves me to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch our video. Please visit the Crypto Quantique YouTube channel for more helpful guides on how to use our products.